The bell rang for recess, and the corridors filled with chatter, laughter, and the thundering footsteps of students rushing out to enjoy their break. But for Emma, the new girl at Westwood High, recess wasn't a time for joy. It was something to survive. She had just transferred 2 weeks ago, moving from a small town after her mother's passing. Her eyes still carried the sadness of loss, and her shy, quiet nature made her an easy target. That day, she was walking down the hall, clutching her lunch tray, when a group of boys blocked her path. They were the kind of bullies who thrived on attention, loud, arrogant, and cruel. Without warning, one of them shoved her hard against the wall. Her head smacked against the cold, painted brick with a sickening thud. Pain shot through her skull and her lunch spilled across the floor. The hallway erupted in gasps and whispers, but no one dared to step forward. Emma's vision blurred, but she held back her tears. She had learned long ago that crying in front of bullies was like pouring fuel on a fire. The leader of the group, Jason, leaned in and smirked. "What's the matter, new girl? Can't handle a little welcome?" His friends laughed. Emma just stared at the ground, clutching the strap of her backpack tightly. Her silence only encouraged them to keep going. When she finally made it to the nurse's office, the school decided to handle it internally, which meant little more than a warning to the boys. Emma went home with a dull headache and a bruise forming on her temple. She didn't want to tell her dad. He had enough on his plate, working long hours and trying to keep their lives stable after her mom's death. But when he came home that night and saw the bruise, the story spilled out between quiet sobs. Her dad's face hardened in a way Emma hadn't seen before. He had always been gentle with her, but there was a fire in his eyes now, a mix of anger and protectiveness. He asked for the names of the boys, but Emma refused. "Dad, please. It'll only make it worse," she whispered. But deep down she knew her father was not the kind of man to let something like this slide. The next morning, her father showed up at school unannounced. He walked into the main office with calm but undeniable authority, introducing himself to the principal. His voice was steady, but there was steel beneath it. "My daughter was assaulted in your hallway yesterday," he said, "and I want to know what you plan to do about it." The principal stammered, fumbling over apologies, promising an investigation. But Emma's father wasn't just relying on words, he requested to see the security footage. What they saw on the screen left no room for doubt. The bullies were clearly visible, shoving Emma into the wall while laughing. The principal looked pale. "This is unacceptable," he admitted. Within hours, the boys' parents were called in for a meeting. But that wasn't the end of it. Emma's father asked to speak directly to the boys, with their parents present. He didn't shout. He didn't threaten. Instead, he told them about Emma's life, about how she had just lost her mother, how they had moved here for a fresh start, and how she had been trying her best to adjust. His voice cracked only once, but his words cut deeper than anger ever could. "You don't know the battles people are fighting," he said, looking each boy in the eye. "One day, you might push the wrong person too far, and you'll regret it for the rest of your life. I hope this is the day you learn that lesson." The room was silent. Even Jason couldn't meet his gaze. The boys were suspended for 2 weeks, and the school arranged for mandatory anti-bullying workshops. But more than that, something shifted in the hallways after that day. The whispers stopped. The stares softened. A few students even started sitting with Emma at lunch. It wasn't an instant transformation, but slowly, Emma began to feel safer. Her father's calm but firm intervention had not only protected her, it had sent a message to the whole school. People began to see her not as the quiet new girl, but as someone worth respecting. Months later, Jason approached her in the library. He looked awkward, shuffling his feet. "I'm sorry," he muttered, barely above a whisper. Emma didn't know if it was guilt, pressure from the workshops, or something her dad had said that stuck with him. But she nodded. "Thanks," she replied simply and went back to her book. She wasn't ready to forgive him entirely, but she knew she had already won. By the end of the school year, Emma had friends, confidence, and a sense of belonging she thought she'd lost forever. She learned that strength doesn't always mean fighting back with fists. It can mean standing your ground, finding your voice, or having someone who refuses to let you be hurt in silence. And every time she walked past that hallway, she remembered the day her dad showed up, not just as a parent, but as her hero.